Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to Automobilista for another video. Now today we're going to be driving the newly released Australian racing car. It's the car you see in front of you, sort of looks like a shrunken Camaro, doesn't it? Basically what these cars are little silhouette cars. They are I think a support series to the V8 supercars. And they're powered by a twin-cam 1.2 litre motorbike engine. In real life it's a 1.3 Yamaha engine, but in the sim it's not specified. The engines put out just over 100 horsepower, reaching their peak power at just over 8,000 RPM. So a little bit similar to Legend's car, maybe you get in iRacing in that regard. Also released yesterday was Adelaide, so I'm sure you can guess where we're driving today. That's right, we're going to be driving at the modern Adelaide circuit in this car, 10-lap race against the AI. And I think it's going to be a blast because these cars make a very good close racing. Not really much aero on this car apart from a little wing on the back, which doesn't really do much, to be honest. So lots of sideways action, and I'm going to have to work for this one. Also, before we start, I want to make a quick mention of Southpaw Racer's upcoming Verbal Chicanery album. It's an album with raps about sim racing, which, how can that not be awesome? I was humbled to be asked to be a part of that. I play a small cameo role in one of the tracks on there, so I would love for you guys to go check that out when it comes out. I'll put a little bit of info down in the description below. It's not out just yet, but it's going to be out very shortly, so definitely keep an eye out for that. So here we are in our little race car. Just waiting for those lights to go green, building the revs, clutch in, first gear engaged. Oh, a bit slow to react there, and oh, a slow start as well. Bit of a clutch skip there to build the revs, and away we go down to the chicane for the first time. Made a couple of stuff for line there, not too bad. These curbs you can monster once you get into the race, but right now it's just trying to get through here in one piece as we just about go through single file there. Car on the inside made things a bit tricky for me. The pack slowing up a bit. I'm going to try and take advantage of that, go to the outside for this next right-hander, running out of track very quickly there. And something you might have noticed already, so I forgot to do so, is that on the downshift there I forgot to blip, and the rear of the car tried to come round to me. That's right, you have to blip on the downshift in this car. There's a power shift so you can keep your foot planted on the way up on the sequential box, but you have to blip on the downshift, otherwise the rear wheels will lock and you will have a spin, or a very near one, or a near miss I should say. Anyway, over the curb on the outside. Now onto the back section of the track, the back straight almost, the nice little kink down the middle. Now it's flat in this car, even on cold tyres. It's a little bit funky, the car does sort of dance through there a little bit. It's flat, but it's a slidey flat. You see, having to work the wheel a bit there, that's how I like to do it. And then braking about 125 metres, I go extreme inside there, see if I can make some places. Down to first gear, again blipping all the way down, making sure those rear wheels do not lock. Being very careful to shift at just over 8,000 RPM. You can rev this thing right up to about 11.5 before the limiter comes in, but there's just no power up there, which is a shame because that's where the nice sound is. It was really weird to sort of have to restrain yourself with a bike engine, but I'm told that twin cam sort of rev that way in real life, so I guess it's realistic for the most part. I think I've just been passed on the inside by the fake yellow Camaro. No, okay, we're past, good. And that is one lap of Adelaide completed, 9 to go. Going to keep it in 4th gear for this first chicane, break down, throw it at the inside curb, get on the power. There you go. If you're not up on 2 wheels through there, you aren't doing it properly. Try and get into the back of these other guys. AI is set to 107%. That's down one too many gears there. I found them to be a good match. So it was 108% in the end. I changed it last minute. Found them to be a good match. The aggression is on high as well, so I'm expecting some elbows out overtaking from the AI at some point. Just holding it in second there. You see we've got that lots of extra RPM to play with. I always find those square right corners to be the bane of my life. I never quite get them right in any sim, but this is the best track to practice them at, definitely. And it's nice to see Adelaide be done properly by a sim. This is the first time we've seen Adelaide, I think, be done properly by one of the big sims. Mods have been out there for a long time, of course, but actually having it in AMS and done to the standard that we get from AMS, which is always a good quality, is awesome. There is, of course, the 1988 variant as well, which I do hopefully plan to do a video on. I did a bit of practice before getting into this video today with the Formula Classic around there, and it's tricky. It's a tricky combo, so that's something I'm going to have to put a bit more practice in before I start recording. But again, looking forward to getting that out for you guys because that is an absolutely solid combination. Making me in 2nd gear now, actually. torque of this car, max torque is around about 6,000 RPM, so you tend to get away with keeping it down a gear a lot of the time. Getting up to 4th gear, car on our inside, he's going to try to outbrake us into the chicane. No, but he does close up a little bit. It's like, biff, there you go, over we go, nice. Right, I'll lock on to these guys in front, a little bit of a gap now, AI spreading out a tiny bit. And the 2nd gear, you can hear maybe the blip wasn't too good there because the revs rise in a very weird way there. 2nd gear again. Oh, they came very close to that wall. Car starts to understeer a little bit. You can sort of cure that with your right foot by just hunting the front. We've seen it comes round on you just like that, but of course that is throwing more unpredictability into the mix, and in racing you don't want to do that too much. Gonna get a little hint of slipstream here. Going down at the back straight. Like I said, that rear wing on the back of these cars, they're sort of there more for show than anything else. They don't really do much. Provide a little bit of downforce, but nothing noticeable, especially not through there. Best corner on the circuit, because you actually get to hear the engine rev a little bit. I do like, however, you know, despite the fact that it is, again, sort of frustrating for me to drive with a car and have to sort of curtail my enthusiasm and not just smash it to 11,000 RPM each time. It is nice to see that model correctly in the sim as well. I remember watching a talk and drive from Niels Huskenveld, who is actually the physics guy for AMS. I recommend going to subscribing to his channel if that sort of stuff interests you. And he was talking about the engine in this and sort of driving it, etc. And it was a really good insight, because actually I wouldn't have thought to do that if I didn't watch the video. Because usually I'm very bad at remembering details of things or paying attention to small details, so I actually probably wouldn't have caught that. I would have been driving around wondering why people are pulling away from me in a straight line. Okay, a little bit of traffic now in front of us, which is going to make for some fun driving. AI side by side. And we sneak a move maybe up the inside here. Going to have a go. The 13 car give us a little bit of room, but not too much. Cars behind are too wide as well. Look there. The switching side is going to force him out wide onto the curb. He's still there on the outside. Finally pulls up behind me. Place made there. A little bit elbows out. That's how you do it, right? I do love racing good street circuits and sims. I actually got to drive Monaco yesterday in my GP4 live series, which I would recommend watching just because it was nerve-biting, nerve-wracking, nail-biting, put together all the way. One of those circuits that requires demands your attention all the way around. A bit like Adelaide, actually. A little bit more room, a little bit wide around here, especially on the modern variant. A little bit more room for mistakes, but of course, you do make a mistake, you understeer, you're going into a wall, so that risk is still there. Coming up the last corner to complete another lap. Making alright progress as I get a bit too heavy on the brakes there. These things are very heavily, have brake bias very heavily to the front, but the rear end does still try and come around on the brakes, especially under heavy braking like that. Or what I like to call desperation braking, when you brake a little bit too late, you try and brake a little bit harder to compensate for that. Nice through there. And let's get back involved with these guys in front, shall we? Also, I want to say a quick thank you guys to the really positive feedback I had on the DTM video. That was really nice to read some of your comments on there. Yeah, it's just nice to have that feedback, so thanks for that, guys. I do appreciate feedback, whether it be positive or negative, but obviously it's nice to get the positive stuff. That curb there is a little bit of a menace. You sort of think you can just run over it, but oh, the car doesn't like it too much. The temptation, of course, is just to run over it and just not take it at all, but you actually don't gain that much time, because the curb really unsettles the car when you go over it. Up to fifth once more, right to the left. Right to the left, that's hard to say, hard to think. Goes into the slipstream now, going to go to the inside. Through the gears. And there you go. Another place gained. Seems to be making a lot of places at that hairpin, so that's a good place to overtake. Seems to have a bit more speed, it seems, going around that kink than the AI cars. I'm not quite sure why. We're all flat through there. Seem to be anyway. Right through the gears again. Guys in front are relatively close, which could be good for us. Means we might end up getting involved in their battle. We could do second through there, I think. I think first is a little bit too... a little bit too revvy. And pull into the right nice and early. to get our line correct for the first chicane. Oh, a bit too much curb on the left there. But I realised it after I turned in. Oh, and the car's starting to slide a little bit now. I do have tyre wear on, so I'm just assuming the tyre temperatures are now up to a point where the tyre is starting to come alive. And I have no doubt this car is a little bit faster on the with that oversteer going on. Of course, more dangerous, but we like speed, so I don't mind a little bit of slide every now and then. Yeah, that was nice through there. A nice run onto the back of the guys. I over-revved a little bit though. So easy to do that in this car. You just sort of come out of the corner, you're trying to get that maximum drive, and before you know it, you've revved a little bit too high and you've lost yourself a couple of Ks. Oh, ending big time through there. Am I going to have enough room to pass? No, not this time. AI goes defensive. I'm going to see if I can get the cut back as they go. Oh, the green car goes to the overtake as well as defending. Still side by side. Backs out of it. Probably the best thing to do. You don't want to go too wide through here. It's just slow. As you can see, a car behind us is caught right up now with them involved in there. Scrum in front. Have a look at the inside. No, I don't like going inside hill. Someone's going inside of me. Nothing I can do. I can only really follow as close as I can to the car in front, and I get murked into the last hairpin. What? There you go. I got the better exit though. The guy on the inside forced to take a very tight line, not quite having the drive out of it that I did on the outside line. Oh, there you go. Oh, Jesus. Just shows how close racing can be in these things, because one mistake ahead of you can actually come back and affect you if you're running too close to the guy in front, which I quite enjoy. This is a car that I really think will have a good place in leagues, you know, because anyone who's driven the AMS V8 supercar will know that it is difficult. It is a difficult car to drive, and whilst these things I wouldn't say are anything near that sort of difficulty, it's a good introduction to dealing with oversteer. Not quite the amount you plan to get, of course, in a V8 supercar, and nowhere near as heavy, about 1,000 kilograms lighter, in fact. But it's a good stepping stone. It's a good first step, you know. You shouldn't run before you can walk, and that even applies in sim racing. Good run this time. I'm going to go to the inside nice and early and get those brakes as late as I can. Don't want to run into the 98 car. Temptation was there. And we're out nice and early there. I sort of over-revved a little bit just to make sure I didn't pull back on the downshift. Or the upshift, sorry. And we are past. One more position gain. The guys in front of this fella are quite a way in front now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be catching them for the end of the race, but we'll see if we can do our best. Oh, a little biff for the guy in front, just a little love tap. Hello, friend, and I'm going to run you wide, thank you very much. Bump and run, baby. Got this wheel, keeps coming loose. Another lap in the books. See if we can catch these guys in front now, shall we? Very approachable car, this. Very approachable indeed. I mean, I make sure to do at least about half an hour of practice before each race so I can put on a good show for you guys whilst commentating. But I picked this up in about 10 minutes, which is, you know, quite quick by my my standards. And half an hour might not sound like a lot of practice, but bear in mind that I drive a lot, so it doesn't take too long to adjust to cars. For me anyway, obviously it may take longer or shorter for you. Nice strong through there. I've got a nice little gap now. I think we might be able to catch these guys in front. They aren't the leaders. I can see cars in front of that pack as well. This shows you how much fighting can slow you down. This is the first time I had a bit of a clean lap through here, so we'll see if we can put in a quick lap. Running over that curb on the inside there's a bit dodgy, but this car sounds nice on the downshift, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Oh no! Ah! See, that's the risk of trying too hard and also getting on those brakes in the wrong place. The back end starts to bite a little bit, and you find yourself sideways, heading towards the wall, which is always a scary prospect. I can use second gear. I've been enjoying that more than first through here. Oh, see, even now, I got the foot down in second there, and the torque obviously took over. Tighten the wheel once more again because Thrustmaster. Actually, no, it's not Thrustmaster's fault. I lost the screw, so because of me. Sorry, Thrustmaster. I didn't mean to blame you there. It's actually all on me. second gear, attack the curb, bit too much attack in there. Curb bites back. The curbs will do that around here. And these cars aren't the stiffest of things. It's hard to say with a lisp. But the curves are very high around here, as I'm sure you've noticed by now. I'm a bit of no man's land now. I am catching the guys in front, but not at a ridiculous pace. There you go, nice. And for our braking point, which is about there. You can be more aggressive on the braking and downshifts and that, but that's when you start getting the rear back out on you. And I don't really fancy doing that right now because it's actually quite difficult to save when you get to that sort of move happening with this car. It just shows you how out of practice I am with things like blipping. I mean, I've been really spoiled with cars recently in terms of blipping. Obviously, all the GT3s now and pretty much every sim have the auto blip and the downshift. Going back to a car that actually needs it, it's you pick it up again nice and pretty quickly, but it's still something you have to be practiced in. But there you go, one lap left for this race. I guess we'll just go as fast as we can, try and get onto the back of these guys, see if we can pick up another position. I don't really think we're going to. They're quite far ahead, although they are fighting, which could be good for us. You'd be so surprised, I know I say it very often in these videos, but how much time you lose when you fight someone. Just like half a second. I mean, look at that. These guys are fighting, and now I'm already on the back of them. Nearly so, anyway. Come on, keep doing it. Keep going too wide. Let old Jimmy catch you. Give old Jimmy a snifter. Shifting a bit too early there, but better than shifting late. That gap's coming right down, hasn't it? Come on. Come on, little 1.2 litre engine. Going to be a very aggressive braking zone from us to get anywhere near them. Down the first, they're still fighting. Come on. Using on the curve there on the exit, not really the right line through there, but it's a line, we'll take it. I don't think we're going to catch them, unfortunately. I just want more revs. That's all I want is more revs. More speed. Not quite close enough. Another lap we would have had them, but guys, that is Adelaide, the new circuit, I think available as DLC from AMS. I have a season pass, so I'm not sure what's free and what's not, but I think this isn't free. Also, the Aussie racing car, nice little car. Like I said, I really recommend it if you're someone who maybe struggles with cars that oversteer a bit. This is a nice car to get the feel for when oversteer is coming. A really good little beginner car. I think it's very user friendly to drive into, and actually quite a lot of fun to drive. You know, it's a unique challenge in what it is. But guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Again, thank you for being here. Always appreciate you watching my videos wherever you are in the world. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, of course. And if you've really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. Take care, guys. Have an awesome day, and see you next time.